and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm finally getting ready to kitting up my Diamond Art Club painting. So I'm going to do this one, which is called Mama Knows Best. It may be one that people have seen before. It's pretty big, and I think I'm going to use the storage that I got from Who I Can. So I've sort of pulled out the diamonds. They all tend to come in strips, and this strip that it comes in tends to be the ones that aren't a full packet. So it tends to be, there's still some that are quite full, but this tends to be the lower amount of diamonds. So for now, I'm going to start with the bigger amounts. So I have a few here that are, there's at least 2 packets of them, and then the rest is sort of 1. And I'm going to see how I can get these storage things to work, and sort of how many packets fit in. I don't mind having some packets left over, but I don't want to have to split into 2 if I can help it. This one didn't come with like a symbol chart key thing, and I don't particularly want to cut up the canvas to get one, so I'm gonna make one. So we're going to start with 310. So I'm going to do the symbol, which 310 is just a dot, so it's sort of a white dot in a square, but I'm just going to do the straight dot, and then I'm going to use a different pen which is kind of lighter, and okay, maybe I'm not, because that one looks like it's running out. So let's grab a black one instead. I'm going to put 310. So I've got the symbol, I'm not even sure if you can see that. So I've got the symbol in a purple, and I've got the 310. Otherwise, I wanted sort of quite a strong colour, and my thought is then, these labels came with it, is that I'll put these labels on the pots. I've got a reference for a symbol. So let's see how much. Now 310, the reason I started with this one is there is bucket tons of it. This one is a square, so let's see how many of these I'm likely to fit in. Say, I don't mind having spares, but if I can get a few in, all the better, if I don't make a mess. Okay, so I've got 1 in. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get 3 in. We'll see what it's like when this second one is done. Because Diamond Art Club do by weight, not even each bag will have the same amount in. Okay, so for safety's sake, I'm going to stick with 2 in there for this one. I don't want to go to put the 3rd in and it not fit. So the 310s that are left will go in my box, which I'll show you afterwards, which is sort of like my toolkit. And then I've only got 2 more of the big tubs that are left. So I'm going to see if there's any of these that look to be packed more than others. There doesn't really. So I'm going to go with the 2 darker colours, just so that my brain goes for the dark colours here. So 3371 is an N. So I want the N in purple, and then I want 3371, so that I also know what DMC number it is. And then this sticker can go on the front. Now, normally I do try and arrange this in sort of a number order rather than any sort of symbol order, but I think I'm just going to let it be mismatch, I think. I may end up rearranging them as I'm working on it if I find that I'm looking for a particular number rather than symbol, or I may end up rearranging it by symbol. But for now, I'm just going to get everything in the right place according to basically keeping them all in the same place, whichever one I lay my hands on first, because it looks pretty. So that's 3371, that's quite easily fit both packets in. And then the next one is 814, which is a chevron shape, and it is a little bit blocky, so I'll do my best artist impression. And then we want 814, so that I've got my number. Hopefully these will all look nice and pretty while I'm working on it. I haven't kit up one of my diamond art clubs yet. I've been very eager to start them. Let's see if I can cut that a bit more. Get the diamonds to come out a little bit faster. I've recently let my eldest do my other diamond art club, the Peter Pan. She's a very big fan of Peter Pan, so I've let her do that one. Okay, so that's the three sort of darker colours done to the side, and now I'm on the big ones. So I've got bits everywhere. There is like 39 colours in this, so this is going to be fun. So 321 is a hashtag, and then 321. So let's see how one packet fits in here. Ooh. So these are not the normal small packets that you can put in as, you know, as many or as few of them as you want. So it may be that this fills it more than halfway, and therefore I can't put the other one in. If I can get them to come out. Can't give you a full sort of how many bags fit in them at the moment, but come on. That lot did not want to get out of there. Okay, so it's filled it less than halfway, so I'm more than happy that I'll have enough room for this second one, which in a way is very good. It means I'm only going to have the 3 10s that are going to be spare as such going in my tub, which means I'm only dealing with one colour for that. And then we've got 498. This one is an arrow, so I'll do my best impression of an arrow. It's not that pointy, but it'll do. And that's number 498. This also gives me a chance to sort of know what the symbols are like as well. I can clue up if I'm going to end up with a, you know, a couple of different arrows maybe facing in different ways. And I feel that, like, by using the bigger pots first, I'm going to be able to fit these labels on them as well. And we'll see if I get to the point of needing to use the very small pots that we also get. That one. A little bit of static going on in this one, not too much though. Just a few. Come on. one seemed fuller to me, but anyway. Okay, so that's that done. So the question is now, do I go by colour? Do I go by number? All the rest of these. So what if I do the other red and then do yellow, and then I can probably get, oh hang on, because we are going to be going to a smaller tub, though that should still fit one packet, so we should be alright. There's a couple of these that seem a little bit fuller than the rest, but I think I'm going to go by colour for now, so at least it looks a little bit pretty. So we'll go with the number 666, and that is 2 dots. And then 666. So I've always got the DMC number as reference as well as the symbol. And of course these ones are not going to be anywhere near as full because we are only talking one packet for these. Come on. There we go. And then let's go on to yellow. So 307 is the letter A. And then the black, 307. So I'll just get on with a few of these and then I'll nip back. Okay, I'm back. My daughter just nipped in. So I've just potted up the 2 yellows, but then all I've done is I've got all the rest of the labels. I felt like the labels were taking a lot of time. So I thought by getting those done, we can just then crack on. So I've next got a row of 5 tubs. So while these are all sort of full, but are going to fit in these and the next ones, I thought I'd just go with all the blues. There was 5 blues, so it worked. So I'm going to put the blues on in the tub in DMC order. I could do it by shade and I might change them around, but the benefit of these tubs is you can change them around. You can change them, move them about and do what works for you as you're going through the diamond painting. So let's get all these in. I need to remember to cut a bigger triangle off the top. I'm sure that will be a lot easier then. There we go. So that's that one. And then we've got 803. So say I've got some very bad drawing of some of the symbols, but at least I've got 2 reference points now, depending on whether I'm near the key. Or whether I tend to find that I go by symbol. The more and more that you move up a diamond painting, especially a big diamond painting, the more you get used to the symbols, you start realising where they are in your storage, what they are. I'm sure the black one is the first one that I'll become very familiar with, and I'm sure when I first start I will be cross-checking the symbols against the key just until I get used to the way that I've drawn them. Also, drawing out all the symbols does sort of help. There are 3 arrows facing in different ways. So I've got one facing that way, one facing that way and one facing down. There is also 2 lines, one which is really chunky. So we've got a chunky line and a very straight line. So I've had to make sure that I sort of pay attention to that as well when I'm kitting them up. And as I say, as I'm working through it, I will get more familiar with the shapes and how I've in effect drawn them. So we've got some 939s and then we've got the 3760. And that is sort of the next of my biggest sizes that are gone. So we just need to hope that all the rest fit in the next one. We'll soon find out. I can't even remember how many pots were in this storage case either. I'm thinking 39 is quite a lot of colours for the painting. I've definitely got enough, I just can't remember how many they were. Okay, so my next lots are all sort of browns, so I think again I'm just going to do it in number order. So we'll start with 300. They're all sort of browny, peachy, that sort of colour. So we're going on to a smaller pot now. Let's hope this is all going to work. Doesn't mean I can't switch some pots about, but I'm hoping I don't have to mess about with stuff like that. So this one keeps bending over on itself where I've cut it, and that means I'm making a mess. Okay, let's try it that way. So let's get all the diamonds to go in. There we go. So 300, and then I want 400. Not come across any ABs yet, but I do know there are some in this painting. Can't remember how many, but there are definitely some in here. 400, and then 436. These labels that come with these pots are quite nice. Fit. I thought I was going to have to go out and get some more labels because I'm very low. In fact, I'm on my last sheet of the labels that I normally use. So I thought, oh, I'm going to have to go out and get some before I can do my boxing up. And then I remembered that this tub came with some, which means I have some labels. They're not the ones I normally use, but they're definitely nice enough. The ones I normally use I just pick up from Hobbycraft. Okay, 437, then we're on 783. It's a lot easier to kit up one of these with them only being in one bag. Once you've figured out the weights of the bags and which tubs to fit them in, that's the only thing. When you have the separate bags, you know how many diamonds you're dealing with. Even if it does take longer to get them all in the tubs, whereas with this, you sort of don't. Oh. Get that one away. And then 938. I thought that bag was quite full, but then when I've gone to cut the corner, it's actually not that bad. And we get to have a look at the rest of the bags that do have less in, but there are still some with quite a bit. And then we've got 3826. This is one of my other arrows. So say I may end up moving it so that the arrows are together, and then when I'm picking one up I can be mentally double checking. But it's not very confetti, the Diamond Art Club. You know, there is confetti, but you still will find when you tip out some diamonds you can do quite a nice chunk before you have to change it up. It's not like you're just pulling out one or two. So let's have a look. So these ones at this end definitely look as though they've got less. So maybe it's done by weight from this side. And I've just noticed, which I didn't notice before, there is more of the 939. That's a little bit annoying, but luckily it went into a tub that will take a second bag. So we'll put the second bag in with the first one. There we go. Okay, so yeah, these definitely look as though they're done by weight. This bag seems fuller. So we're going to put them in according to the order that they're here. So let me get all my rubbish out the way. So 738. I also find it can be easier putting them into the tub in this way, because you are dealing with sizes and quantities, and then you can always jiggle them about later. Don't have to jiggle them about now. So 738, come on. And these pots are great for getting a load of diamonds in. I know I have made a mess with a few, but they open up quite a nice way. Okay, then we've got 782. And we'll just keep working down in sizes. 782. And I think we should, by the time we get to the small ones, we should have bags that have got nowhere near the same amount in, which means we're not going to have to put any in little baggies and keep them separate. The only one that will in effect overflow is the 310, which is perfectly fine. So 740, it's a nice bright orange. 435, still not come across any AB yet, but they are in there. I've seen them. Just not potted any of the AB up yet. I think there's 3 in this one, or maybe it's 2. We'll count them when we come across them. Ooh. So that's 435. Then we've got 947. This is bright. We're getting into some bit more vibrant colours in a few places now. I try cutting a bigger corner off, so I can try and get the diamonds in a little bit easier. 597. So I don't know what everybody else is up to diamond painting wise. I've been able to diamond paint quite a lot in the evening. Haven't been able to get as many videos done as I wished, though I have done a batch, so by the time this video goes up you'll probably think, what do you mean she's been doing videos? But I tend to do my videos in bulk, and I actually had an unboxing sat here on my desk for 2 weeks before I got round to filming it, because I'm decorating. So 3078 done. What's next? 3855. I don't know how my nails are going to fare with these pots. They are easier to open than the Elizabeth Ward ones, but we will see how my nail varnish fares over the next week or so. I've already got chips on these nails at the moment, but I'm due to get them done this evening. And I've just looked up and my battery is flashing, so I'm going to switch my battery over before we move on to the last bit, but it would be helpful if I put the sticker on to tell me what number this is. There we go. So we change my battery and we'll get the last bit done. Okay, battery's changed and we're starting to hit an AB. So this is an AB in square. Now, how do these labels fit on these pots? Oh, I think we're still alright. They go over the little sort of thumb hole ever so slightly, but enough that I don't have to rewrite them, which is good, because I did wonder. So the first AB for this one, so this is a white AB. You see that iridescent coating over the top, and this is symbol number 2. Tend to find the ABs are little accents all over the painting that make it sparkle that little bit more. So that's one AB. This one's not an AB. 519. Trying not to do the counting to check that I've got enough pots. I'm trusting it. I'm sure I'll do the mental count when it gets below 5 and I can do it without. I can count them without particularly thinking very hard. I'm committed to using these storage pots now. My round storage pots that I quite often use, my daughter has pinched. So, okay, 739. And this is not an AB. You may be able to tell by the number. 141 is of course not a DMC number, but that is a number that they name the ABs. Okay, then we've got the number 130, which is another AB, and this one is a yellow AB. So get this one cut off. So that is a yellow AB. See the sparkle in that one? So even when they have ABs in these, it doesn't tend to be, you know, big bulks of AB. Just some nice little hints. And these are all square AB. Ooh. I don't know if that pinged anywhere, but if it did, I guess I'll have to find it later. So I probably will group the ABs together. So I'll stick the 130 up there, and then I've got the spare diamonds, the diamonds and the ABs. Okay, so next one is 136. This again is another AB, and this one is in a blue. And this is the last AB, so there is 3 in this painting, but that one's a blue AB. When I'm working on a section, I like the idea of adding the AB after the rest. So there we go, they're the ABs, which I may move further down, but I'll get the rest of these potted up for now. So we've got 741. And of course I didn't count how many containers were in this before I started kitting it up, because that would have been forward planning now, wouldn't it? So, but mentally counting now, we're fine. We've got enough storage tubs, which is good. Otherwise you could have had how to kit up and fail. Okay, 741, 740. So if anybody else is mentally counting, I've got 3 more stickers left and I've got more than 3 pots. So we are good to go. So 740, and there's not a lot of these either. nice thing about these pots as well, especially the small ones, is if you ever miss one, you can just stick your pen in and pull it out. You don't have to tip them out onto your tray to be able to get hold of them. So $3.50. There's that one, and then the last two, we've got 318, a couple of greys, which will probably be for shading, but these are definitely emptier than the rest. So we've got 318. And lastly 415. And then I'll get my toolkit ready. So let's get 415 in the pot. Okay, so there is all the diamonds in my tray with the symbols. I am just going to scoot, oh, if I can get hold of them. I'm going to scoot the AB diamonds just to the bottom, just so that they are all together. I say I can jiggle this about, and I probably will do, but I want to work on it first and determine whether I want the symbol or the DMC number in what jiggle. But all those diamonds are in, but I do still have 5 packets of 310 because it's a very 310 heavy project. So I need to get my toolkit ready, so I need to get rid of these pens and all this rubbish. So we pop my pens away, and I will bring over what I use to sort of hold my tools, and in turn sometimes my diamond trays if I use my smaller pots. But okay, rubbish is out the way, scissors away on the pegboard behind. So I tend to use this basket. So this basket was the grandson of 89p from Home Bargains. It's hard plastics, durable, and quite often if I use one of these, they just fit in there along with the rest of the stuff. I do also have like a little mini toolbox. This was picked up in a dollar store in Australia, and this tends to house, so I have this pen with the wax stuff on the end. That is good for picking up AB diamonds, which is why I keep that in there. I've got tweezers, I've got a pen in case I need to mark any labels up, scissors, wax, and some binder clips. So they all tend to stay in there. Now, one of the things I do want to do today is I do want to change this wax. This wax I think I've had since my first diamond painting, if not my second. I may have added something else in it, but it does feel as though on the last couple of diamond paintings that I've done, I do feel as though I've struggled with this wax a little bit more than maybe is required. So I'm going to bin the wax, and then, oh actually, I was going to grab, I have a pot that has wax in it. But while we're working on a diamond art club, let's take the wax from the kit. It's a cute little heart, if I can get hold of it. There we go. So, I don't need any of the rest of the toolkit from there, just because I tend to use ones I've got myself. So let's, has this got a coating on it on both sides or on one side? It's definitely got it on that side. It has got a coating on the other side. I just can't get hold of it because it's sort of, there we go. So we'll peel that out. It is going to get squooshed, sorry wax, but we'll squoosh that into my little pot. I like that pot because it will keep the wax hopefully from drying out, though that other piece of wax I think I've had in there for over a year, so maybe that's why it's drying out. So that's my little pot of that stuff. I'm going to pop in my spares. Quite often I will pop those into a bag like this, an A5 bag that sort of sits in there, but there's only one colour. It's not really small bags, so I don't need to do that. I've got my diamond paint. Oh, I'm hitting my lights. I've got my diamond paint in itself. This is sort of rolled up. It's on a really nice canvas and it's poured glue, so I'm not too worried about that being rolled up. I am going to start from the bottom, but that is because I feel the picture gets more interesting the further up you go. So I like to start on the boring bit first. So as boring as any of it can be. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Now I do have new diamond painting trays. I think because of the amount of colour that there is in this one, and I work on quite a big section, I think I'm going to try the 3D printed painters palette as my tray. I'm going to try using that. This one will split into two, which is quite nice, and you could have it going both ways. That'd be quite nice if you're working on something that's quite bitty but also maybe has a lot of black so that you can interact. But I think I'm going to try the painter's tray one first, though that one is very pretty, which means I'm going to relegate my big tray. I'm going to keep that in my craft room, which will stop me from not giving this a really good go. Does have a pouring spout, so you can pour it back into your tubs. And I'm sure I can just block that with something, even just a sticker, if I feel as though I can't get to hold it right. I think it's that way that you're supposed to hold, or maybe it's that way. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna mess. Find out what way is comfy for me. So all I need otherwise is a pen. Now, I do have a few diamond painting pens. I'm actually thinking that this one might be a nice one to try on this painting. I do feel as though it's apt, should we say. It's got the same sort of colours. I'm just trying to get it to the picture. Where's the picture of it? There we go. I do feel as though it's got some of the same sort of colours maybe that are in that painting. I do need to get the pliers out though. Oh no, I've done it with my teeth. Is I want to change one of the ends to the ends that I like to use, which is a spacer. So I did ask for it to come with two ends that were the same, but that was so that I could switch it. So I've got an end for diamond painting and an end now for nudging my diamonds across. So I think I'm going to put this one in it. Now, against what I'm normally going to do, I am also going to pop in my new, which I haven't yet used. In fact, I haven't used this one either. No, still got no wax in it. So I'm going to use my new BFF, but I also think I might work for a little bit with this mini one, because this is new and I want to see how the mini one works. So I'm actually going to pop the two of them in there for now. I'll pop the mini one in my little toolbox because that one fits, the other one tends to be too big. So I've got everything I need. I've got my diamond painting tray, of which I'm trying out a new one. I've got my extra diamonds, I've got my pen, and I've got my other tools that I tend to use. And for this one, that's going to be it. that's all I'm going to need. But I like the fact it doesn't always look this. Sorry about that, my memory card filled up and turned itself off. I'm not sure how far I got, but basically I've got my little toolkit now ready, with my tray, my pen, my other bits that I may or may not need. I also use, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, I've got this little tray, came with one of my diamond painting kits, doesn't have ridges, but quite often that can sit there quite nice for any sort of odds and ends that trash, and then I just tip it out. Otherwise I'll use one of these storage containers, but I'm onto quite a big one at the moment, and these I tend to use if I need to clip it to my light pad, especially with it being a big one. It helps it to stay put on my small table. But yeah, that is all my tools that I need for this one. I do now have a big tray of diamonds, and of course I have my diamond painting itself. So I'll of course let you know what this one looks like when it's finished, but this one might take me a while, but it'll be nice. I've done a few rounds recently, so it'll be nice to do another square, and it'd be nice to see what another cellar's like as well. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll speak to you all again soon.